All right, let's talk about insulin. If you or someone you care about uses it, you already know it's an absolute game changer for managing diabetes. But let's be honest, it can also feel pretty complicated. So in this explainer, we're going to demystify the whole thing and give you a practical guide to your therapy. Let's get right into it.
So this question right here, this is the whole ball game. A healthy pancreas is an incredible, non-stop machine. And the entire goal of insulin therapy, everything we're about to talk about, is to figure out how we can best copy what that amazing organ does all on its own. So, how do we even start?
Well, to mimic the pancreas, we first have to really understand its two main jobs. See, it's not just doing one thing. It's running a super sophisticated two-part system around the clock to keep your body perfectly balanced.
And here they are, basal and bolus. The easiest way to think about it is this. Basal is your background insulin. It's like a slow, steady, continuous drip that your pancreas releases all day and all night, just to keep things stable. Bolus, on the other hand, is the opposite. It's a fast, powerful burst that's released the moment you eat to handle the sugar from your food. Any good insulin plan has to do both of these jobs.
Okay, so if we need to cover both those basal and bolus needs, we're going to need the right tools, right? And that brings us to our insulin toolkit. Each type of insulin you see here is designed for a really specific purpose.
Now this chart, this is basically the master key. It lays out everything you need to know. Over on one end, you have your rapid-acting insulin. See how it starts working in just 15 minutes? That's your bolus, your mealtime insulin. Then, way over on the other end, you've got long-acting insulin. Notice it has no peak and lasts for 24 hours? That's your basal insulin. That's steady, background coverage. Everything in between is just there to help fine-tune a therapy plan.
So with that toolkit, there are really two main ways to go. Conventional therapy is simpler, maybe just one shot a day. The goal there is basically to keep you safe from any immediate danger. Intensive therapy, on the other hand, is more work. We're talking multiple shots or an insulin pump, but the goal is much bigger. To get your blood sugar as close to a non-diabetic range as possible, and that's been proven to slash those long-term complications. But look, knowing what insulin to take is really only half the story. Knowing how to take it correctly is just as crucial for it to work right and keep you safe. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty of administration. First things first, storage. And this stuff is non-negotiable because insulin can be damaged pretty easily. The main takeaways? Keep your backup supply in the fridge, but the one you're actually using can stay at room temperature. And that's a good thing, because it actually makes the injection sting a little less. And always, always, give your insulin a quick look before you use it, especially the cloudy kinds. Now, if your plan involves mixing different insulins in one syringe, there is one golden rule you have to remember. Clear before cloudy. You always draw up the clear insulin first. Why? Well, think about it. If you accidentally push a little bit of the cloudy stuff into your clear vial, you've contaminated the whole bottle and it won't work the way it's supposed to. So remember, clear, then cloudy. Every time.
Next up is rotation. You know, it's so tempting to just use the same easy-to-reach spot over and over. But if you do that, you can get this buildup of fatty tissue under the skin. And if you inject into that tissue, it's like injecting into a sponge. The insulin just sits there and doesn't get absorbed properly. So the fix is simple. Just keep moving your injection sites around in a pattern. It keeps your tissue healthy and your insulin working predictably.
And of course, these days, it's not just about syringes. You've got options. There are pre-filled pens that are super convenient. You just dial up your dose, all the way to these incredibly sophisticated insulin pumps that do their best to act just like a real pancreas, giving you both basal and bolus insulin automatically.
Okay, let's shift gears and tackle one of the most frustrating things for people on insulin. Waking up with a high blood sugar. You feel like you did everything right the night before, so what gives? It's a common mystery, but don't worry, we can solve it.
It almost always comes down to one of three main culprits. So let's put them side by side. That way you can see the differences and start to figure out what might be going on.
This table is fantastic because it lays it all out so clearly. So if your sugar just slowly creeps up all night long, that's probably insulin waning. Your dose just ran out of steam. If it's totally fine until about 3 a.m. and then suddenly spikes, that's the dawn phenomenon. It's caused by a natural surge of hormones. But the trickiest one is the Somaji effect. This is where your blood sugar actually goes low in the middle of the night and your body panics, dumping a ton of glucose to save you, which causes you to wake up with a rebound high. And notice the solution is the complete opposite of the others. You actually need less insulin at night, not more.
So the big question is, how do you know which one it is?
You've got to play detective. And this is your mission right here. Checking your blood sugar at these 3 key times. At bedtime, then setting an alarm for 3 a.m., and again right when you wake up. That data will reveal the pattern and point you and your doctor straight to the right solution.
Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. From the big picture theory of mimicking a pancreas all the way down to the super practical stuff. So now, let's just bring it all home and talk about what this all means for you.
You know, this quote really just nails it. Managing insulin isn't about just following a list of instructions. It's about really understanding why you're doing what you're doing. That knowledge, that solid foundation, is what gives you the power to take care of yourself confidently and effectively, day in and day out.
And so, we're going to leave you with this question. You now have the blueprint. You understand the tools, you know the strategies, you know how to troubleshoot. So the final step is taking all of this and using it to ask smarter questions, make more informed choices, and become a true partner with your healthcare team. How are you going to put it into action?